In secular notion, the word mission means that a person has a goal, an objective which he tries to accomplish. This goal, this ambition springs from himself. So in secular understanding, mission is what I want to do, my personal ambition. In Christian understanding, mission is understood very differently. The word mission always implies that we are sent. In the theology of mission, we always speak about the theology of sending. So we have the Father who sends the Son sends the disciples, and the apostles continue to send us all out into the world. We must be conscious that we are sent. We do not send ourselves, not even the bishop, not even the pope. We are all sent. We have Jesus who is sent by the Father. Clearly, Jesus said, I have come to do His will, not my own. The Father and I are one. All the works that Jesus did were to glorify the Father. That is why Jesus had the same mind, the same heart of His Father. Because Jesus was called to present the Father to us. To see me is to see the Father. And at the very beginning of John chapter 13, Jesus said, when the time has come for Him to return to the Father. He was sent by the Father and He was returning. But before He could return, He had to prepare His apostles whom He will send out. The apostles, they were called to represent Him and to be sent out. For Jesus to come, to establish the kingdom, God again sent John the Baptist to be the forerunner, to prepare the way. And John the Baptist was clear, he was sent, not as the Messiah. In the Gospel of John chapter 3, John the Baptist said, he must increase and I must decrease. Because why? The whole purpose of John the Baptist was to present the Messiah, to call the people to repentance. Once his job was done, he disappears because he was sent. That is why the disciples must be identified with Jesus. If the disciples were not identified with Jesus, they cannot be His ambassadors. This sending, of course, is always in the context of prayer. Even the Pope is sent because it's the cardinals that will vote for the new Pope on behalf of the church. As a bishop, I'm sent. I don't send myself. It's the Holy Father who appoints me and sent me to take care of the Archdiocese. That is why all ministers in the church, they must be sent. All priests, all deacons are sent by the bishop. That is why all appointments in the Archdiocese must come from the bishop. Because the bishop is the one who has the authority to send. For this reason, the sacrament of confirmation, the ordinary minister of confirmation is always the bishop. Because he is the one who sends baptized Christians to be witnesses in the world. Consequently, a priest, therefore, a deacon, or anyone who is appointed by the bishop, cannot be acting on his own account. Priests and deacons and all those who have been sent, they are called to deputize the bishop. They are called to convey his mind, his heart, his vision for the diocese. A priest cannot be working his own vision because the priest has no existence without the bishop. The bishop has the fullness of the priesthood. Every priest must be attached to a bishop. Otherwise, he cannot function. He has no faculty. So it's very important to realize that when we are sent, therefore, we must not behave like Judas. Those people that we have appointed, the bishop appoints the priest and some lay people. The parish priest appoints his own people. All are being sent. The parish priest sent his own people, his parishioners, to work with him for the mission. We are all sent. The danger is there are some who forget that they are sent. They have their own vision. They have their own agenda. They are sending themselves. And this was the problem of Judas. He was actually sending himself. When you send yourself, precisely the devil sends himself. He's not sent by anybody. When we send ourselves, pride takes over. And this is the real problem. That is why we must always remember there is always a higher authority over us. We need to be humble. So, for me, Mr. Bishop, the vision I have is the vision of the Universal Church, of the Holy Father. I support him in that mission because I'm sent by him. What happened then, therefore? There are those people whom we appoint and they betray our trust. As a good leader, we must forgive. We must be tolerant. Even though Judas betrayed the Lord, he continued to reach out to him. And if we want to transcend all those people who have failed us when we have appointed them for the role of leadership, then we must continue to reach out to them, to pray for them, and continue to win them over.